Greetings everyone, today I'm gonna tell you how Valve scammed everyone by releasing CS2 and how they continue scamming the entire community and lying to you about a few important aspects of our favorite game. Believe it or not, in this video I will not cry about cheaters as one of the main issues that I want to address. It's gonna be way more interesting. Firstly, I wanna start with a story about how Valve is faking the reputation and reviews of CS2. We all remember the time when CS2 got released and a lot of people were hyping it up, and even the most skeptical of us had a slight thought that the game might have bright future. However, after just a few days, the game got infested with cheaters and the community split into two groups. One of them were saying that it's just a beta and when the game is fully released we will have a functioning anti-cheat, just let them cook bro. And the second one had a functioning brain and they were begging Valve to not make CS2 entirely replace CSGO until the game is fully fixed and playable. What's really interesting here is that every game was pretty much unplayable because it looked like HVH servers. Okay, get the f away from the keyboard and stop writing your comments and let me finish. I said I won't cry about cheaters, it's just the beginning. So, as we all know, every game on Steam has a public page where people can write their reviews. And believe it or not, CS2 quickly became Valve's lowest rated game on Steam in a matter of just 1 month. However, this is where the most interesting part begins. In just 1 month, the score of the game changed from mostly negative to positive, and now the game is rated 9 out of 10 on Steam and has mostly positive rating. Now, did Valve change anything in the game during this 1 month? Absolutely not. Did they add a new anti-cheat? Nope. Did they fix Speaker's Advantage and Subtick? No. Until this day, we still have a big amount of issues, but how come that the reviews became so positive? And this is where I started investigating. You see, by doing a very simple experiment from one of my not important accounts, I came to the understanding that if you write a negative comment about CS2, it gets taken down and your account gets a community ban. But of course not for every comment, and it works in different ways. If you comment something like "fuck trash game, dumb developers, unplayable garbage", then your comment will be deleted and you will receive a community ban for breaking Steam TOS. However, if you write a long message without any profanity but the comment is mostly negative, there is a chance that your comment will not be posted and you will get a community ban for spamming. You might think that it's dumb. Well, have you heard about people getting trade banned and community banned for signing or commenting on other people's Steam profiles? Well, then why are you surprised? Of course, if they would remove every negative comment about the game, it would look way too unnatural, so there are still bad reviews, but the majority of them are positive. And trust me, it was not like that when the game was released, so it's being very heavily moderated. The funny thing here is when I asked my friend to post a very negative review with lots of profanity on a game that was not made by Valve, it did not get taken down. So this strict moderation of reviews is only activated on the games that were made by Valve. I wonder why. Of course, some people went full schizo on this and started accusing Valve of faking the positive reviews, but I don't want to provide any fake information because this simply cannot be confirmed, unlike the fact of them blocking negative reviews. However, the next topic is a bit more interesting. Do you know what this is? Well, if you're like me, you probably see it for the first time. Apparently, this is CS2's live activity feed, and every time the developers release an update, people can comment, like and dislike it, but this is where it gets more tricky. First of all, again, you cannot comment anything bad about the game, and the majority of comments literally look like they were written by AI. Second of all, you can only see the likes, but you cannot see the amount of dislikes. Third of all, the amount of likes looks unbelievably fake, and I will try to explain why. For example, two recent updates on 14th and 28th of February both got around 45,000 likes, and those updates are not important and don't bring anything huge to the game. However, the update where we got Season 2 premiere and Train added into the competitive map pool only got 12,000 likes. Another huge factor in this is that CS2 developers keep telling us that the game keeps breaking new records in terms of monthly players. However, the stats on those likes and comments under new posts only looks like this. The update gets added into CS2's live activity feed, it gets around 25 to 30k likes within first 12 to 16 hours and then it stops completely. For example, I've been monitoring the recent 2 posts and their live activity for a week, and each one of them barely got 100 new likes, while all I hear is how CS2 is breaking new records in terms of monthly players. So I'm almost certain that those stats are fake. This is not a huge detail, but Valve are clearly trying to make everyone believe that the game has a very happy and super actively engaged community. Now let's talk about the most interesting part that I briefly mentioned earlier, the monthly players. So the game keeps breaking records in terms of new players, and you're probably gonna think that I'm gonna accuse like half of them of being case farming bots. No, again, I only try to provide real research and information and not just to rage bait people. In reality, I've managed to contact sites that have an access to deep CS2 analytics, and according to them and other sources, the case farming bots only take around 6 to 8% of the current player base. Approximate highest amount of case farming bots a month was around 150,000, which is insanely high number, but it's not the ridiculous 50% like some people on Twitter think. However, something about those monthly records feels completely off. The majority of the community is not happy about the state of the game. I know that, you know that, and every single streamer and YouTuber that I know also thinks like that. How come that the game keeps breaking new active players' records? Well, I'm not gonna directly accuse Valve of faking it, instead of that I will provide you with some statistics and you will make a conclusion for yourself. Listen carefully. Premier Matchmaking is the most played game mode in Counter-Strike 2. 10,000 Premier rating is statistically the most common rating among CS2 players. On 16th of March, CS2 broke a record by having over 1.8 million players in just 24 hours. Peak time of activity of CS2 players is from 6 PM to 10 PM Central European Time. The average queue time on 10,000 Premier rating from 16th of March till 25th of March during prime hours of this game is 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Now let's compare that to CSGO. The most common rating in CSGO was Gold Nova 2. The prime time of players' activity remains the same, however, during the lowest peak of CSGO players in the last 2 years, which was 1.3 million, the average queue time was 2 minutes and 24 seconds. So CS2 at its recent peak had over 500,000 more players, but the queue time is still somehow lower during prime hours. So I really hope that you will be able to do the math yourself, since I don't want to directly accuse Valve of anything. In fact, you can just think that I became insane because I faced too many cheaters and completely lost the hope about the game. In my opinion, almost anything that Valve say about CS2 ends up being fake and lies. They promised us VAC 3.0 9 months ago and we still got nothing. They promised us Overwatch that were given to some trusted partners, and not a single person until this day knows what it means. They delete negative reviews, they delete negative comments, but somehow the game keeps breaking new records. Think for yourself, my dear viewers, I'm only here to state some facts. However, gentlemen, here is a little bit more proof to what I was talking about. So, we recently got told that CS2 broke another record of having 1.8 million active players, right? We all know that Europe is the most played. We're not gonna take Russia, we're just gonna look at Europe, right? What countries do I know in Europe? Sweden, right? Okay, let's go to Sweden. They said 1.8 million. Where the fuck is the capital? Where is the capital? Where is Stockholm? Yeah, here. Okay, yeah, here is Stockholm, right? So they're telling us there is 1.8 million players. Let me go to, I don't know, some random street right there. Look, wait, it's here, for example, here. And I'm going the review and shit. Okay, so first of all, what the fuck is this? Do you think I'm gonna find even at least, I'm not even saying 1.8 million players. I need at least 100 active Counter-Strike players here. I know a lot of people from Sweden play CS. I don't see a single person. Where are all of these CS players, bro? Where are they? Look here. Again, empty streets. There is not a single CS player. I'm not saying shish. Look, it's completely not a single CS player, not a single internet cafe. No one is playing CS. How do you want me to believe this shit? I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I wanted to say big thanks to CS Analytics sites for providing me with deep research and statistics. Without them, this video would not be possible. Let's just hope that I'm a delusional sanctioned idiot and the game will get fixed soon. God bless you, I'm out. Gold, gold, gold.